All your base art belong to us.
You're listening to Gamers Digest, a podcast where your hosts put the controllers down just long enough to talk about gaming news, rumors, and anything else they can think of. Here are your hosts, Spider-One and Mr. Factastic.
How was that? That was pretty good.
Yeah, cool.
You did all that hard work.
Part of it. I had a friend from work help me out with some graphics.
Hey, it was good.
Yeah.
I
like the music.
Yeah.
The music was good.
I'm no music producer, but I tried.
Hey, it was cool. It's catchy. It's been stuck in my head for a while, you know, when I was...
That's what I was going for. It was the quick branding music that you think of, like 2.5 Men or like CSI or something like that, where you're humming it to yourself and you don't think about it. That's what I was going
Gamers
for.
Digest.
Right. So this is our 20th episode. If you don't know, we are Gamers Digest. We talk about gaming news, rumors, the industry. We do previews, reviews,
discussion. Did you say
everything.
that already?
Something. We do something involving gaming. Just 20 times so far.
Yeah, 20 times.
How many times do you have to do it before it becomes a habit? Like 3 weeks in a row or something?
Yeah, it has like 21. Yeah, I think 21 times or something.
We are habitual podcasters.
We are.
Hardcore.
We've broken the mold.
It is our 20th episode, so you're going to see some new graphics, stuff like that. You heard the new music. There'll still be more changes. Don't think we're going to get lazy.
It's called evolution, everyone.
Right. So,
it's real.
But we're trying to step up the production value a little bit and just, I guess, be a little more professional.
Yeah, trying to be a little more professional. We're growing. We want this to be bigger.
Yep.
You know.
Someday we'll have a studio.
You know, we'll have other hosts, maybe like a guest host or a segment host that does another segment or something. Maybe the show might expand the format. You know, who knows?
Dreams. We can always dream.
You got to start somewhere.
Right.
I mean, if we look back to the earlier episodes,
I did. I was actually one of the initial things I wanted to do for this episode was like the best of cut, but then I realized that like episodes like 1 through 15 were horrible. not horrible, but we definitely grew over them. But I couldn't do a best of because it was all
it's pretty rough.
Yeah, exactly.
Pretty rough.
Like they were entertaining to me because I didn't watch or listen to all of them, but I did most of them. Like
the jerky part. The
jerky. Yeah. That was only a couple weeks ago.
Yeah, true. I was thinking about putting beef jerky in the intro. I thought about it. I was gonna send you that cut and maybe
someday we'll do
April Fool's
jerky
episode.
Right. All right. Well, we do have a lot of stuff to talk about this week. Kind of good that it coincides with our 20th show that we actually have a lot of news. Mm-hmm. It's going to be a lot of quick news because none of the stories are real deep, but some of them could spark some controversy.
Yeah.
But what did you play this week?
Didn't play a whole lot. This was the Battlefield 3 Double XP weekend, so I played a lot of Battlefield 3. You know, so I racked up some experience. I leveled up my engineer class, my sniper class. I play as those the most.
Right.
I'm almost up there with the assault class. I've gotten a little bit better at using the assault rifles. My support class, the machine gunners and everything, I got them up a little bit, but I'm still working on those two classes. Yeah. I did play the Resident Evil 6 demo today, and it was cool. I'm as a fan,
right?
Resident Evil has changed. I accepted that after Resident Evil 4. Resident Evil is going to be different from now on, and it's a good game. I like the 3 different campaigns because each one has a different style and feel.
Right.
Leon has his more true to the old school Resident Evil, where it's like a little bit more slower pace, trying to scare you.
Right.
It borrows a little bit from Left 4 Dead, where it has like these horde moments where you do something and it just attracts a lot of zombies. This is also the first time there's been zombies in a Resident Evil game for a really long time, so that's pretty
Raccoon
cool.
City.
They're recreating some type of Raccoon City thing. So
I meant Operation Raccoon City.
Oh, that doesn't count. That does not count. Then Chris is a lot more fast paced.
More like he was at 5.
Yeah, more like in 5. It's a lot more fast paced, like Twitch type shooter, which is a little bit. It's kind of jarring for a Resident Evil game, to be honest with you.
Yeah.
And then the Jake character, it still plays like a it's kind of an in between.
Okay.
You know, so
Could be
we'll see.
interesting.
Yeah. So that's pretty neat. That's really all I played.
Yeah, you were at Battlefield pretty much all day
Mhm.
until pretty well today, even after the XP weekend ended. And
Yeah, it's still the first.
you hurt your shoulder playing Battlefield.
Yeah, man, I couldn't play. Yeah, I mean, I had an injury, a Battlefield-related injury.
All right, well, what are you going to do for a review this week?
I'm going to review Heavy Rain.
Okay.
It's a throwback to probably, I mean, I'll mention in my review, like, it's one of, like, the best or worst games ever. So it depends on what your take on it, but I was
actually going to mention that one of our discussion topics is going to be, like, industry game changers. No pun intended, the way I said it there. That's not how it's written. But, like, games that change the industry, and Heavy Rain was going to be one of them I brought up.
Okay, yeah. I mean,
So,
yeah.
That'll go perfectly.
Nice.
This week, I was actually pretty busy playing games. I played a lot of Smite Beta, which is actually going to be a preview I'm going to do. Guild Wars 2 I did a little bit. World of Warcraft I did a little bit on Tuesday because they released some new stuff. Darksiders 2, I finished Double Dragon, and the big one was Borderlands 2.
Yeah.
It's been out since yesterday, and I think I've already dumped probably 20 hours into it.
Wow.
So, yeah, I've been staying up way too late. I can't do that anymore. So,
the time just flies by.
right.
Like, I looked at my, like, playtime for Battlefield 3, and I don't want to say this on the air,
Okay.
but almost 48 hours.
That's not bad.
Yeah, it's pretty bad. It's pretty bad.
You should see my World of Warcraft.
No, wait,
playtime.
you know what? I think it was 48 hours before Double XP weekend. So, yeah.
Now it's like 100 some hours.
Who knows?
Yeah. But Borderlands 2 I'm actually going to do a review on. I put enough time into it.
Cool.
That. But let's jump into the news. Because we got a lot.
We do. Oh, shoot.
News and rumors.
Really low. It's really low.
It did seem pretty low.
That's okay. Everybody's heard it before.
Yeah.
News and rumors. All right, so Little Big Planet for PlayStation Vita is going to come out September 25th. Except it's out now, and you can go out and download it.
That's weird.
Yeah, they broke this. The company itself broke their own street date. They said, "Well, it was done, so we're just going to release it."
There you go.
Yep.
Baldur's Gate, I see it's like a reflex for me to say Baldur's Gate and Dark Alliance right after it. But Baldur's Gate Enhanced Edition's been delayed until November 20th.
Oh, I was looking forward to that.
You got like what, 2 more months?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Give me time. Gearbox, who makes Borderlands and Duke Nukem eventually, wants to do more Duke Nukem. The last one wasn't really that well received.
Yeah, so
but,
I was a little worried when I heard this.
I think it could be good. I think the problem with the last one was it was in development for 12 years. So
There's just so much for it to live up to.
And it changed publishers so many times that Gearbox was kind of just the one that finished it and said, okay, we have a product that we can, I guess, put out. So, oh well. Guild Wars 2 sells 2 million units. By their standards, they've already won because it's a buy the box and then play as you go, no subscription fee.
Mm-hmm.
This one I was kind of surprised about. Bayonetta 2 is a Wii U only game.
Yeah, that is interesting. I'm surprised they're making a sequel, to be honest with you.
The first one did really well. It got good reviews, and the people who played it enjoyed it, as long as they take out 20-minute rocket things.
Yeah, yeah. Metal Gear Rising has been canceled for 360 in the East, but it's still on for the West.
Yeah, I thought that was kind of weird, because that was what it was originally announced for, was the 360.
Yeah.
Oh, well.
Yeah, it is weird. But, I guess they think that it'll sell better over here.
Right.
Yeah, because Metal Gear is bigger in the West than it is over there on the East. So
that's surprising.
Yeah, it is more popular. Like when the game's released, they usually release it here first, instead of in Japan. I guess it's just like the subject material or whatever. But yeah.
Well, we'll keep an eye on Metal Gear.
Mm-hmm.
They announced today. I didn't put this in the news because it's kind of small, but they announced the Zone of Enders collection's coming out at the end of October or November, and that's actually going to have the Metal Gear Rising demo on it.
Oh, nice.
So that's something to keep an eye on.
That's pretty cool.
Let's see what else we got. Minecraft Pocket Edition is actually released on the Kindle Fire. That's kind of cool that the Kindle Fire is kind of jumping into the mobile game.
Yeah.
Because what is the Fire? Is the Fire like $149 or it's pretty cheap, right?
It's like $200.
That's not too bad.
Yeah.
Oh.
Oddworld: Stranger's Wrath is on Steam now in glorious HD. And I mean, I never played Stranger's Wrath when it came out. I thought it was a little bit weird that for the whole first-person take on the Oddworld series, but
Yeah.
I mean, this is good that they're starting to pump out these games because they are doing a remake of the original Oddworld.
Is that was that Abe?
Yeah, with Abe. Oddworld: Abe's Exodus or
Yeah,
and Abe's Odyssey. Yeah.
Odyssey was the first one. Exodus
Odyssey
was the
yeah,
second one.
yeah.
Yeah, I got to think back. I was like, wow, that was a long time ago.
And I mean, remember I mentioned before that there's kind of like this like a renaissance in these 2D platform
Platformers,
games.
yeah.
So, I mean, Oddworld. Once I saw the news for the new Oddworld, I was happy about that.
Yeah.
And they were doing it as a remake, but I think they're doing it as a completely new game, kind of like a reboot. So
That could be interesting.
yeah.
Yeah, I might tease.
Let's see. Former Funcom CEO accused of insider trading.
Yeah, this was sad because Funcom's kind of tanking right now because they released Secret World, but like the day before Secret World launched, the Funcom CEO had stepped down at that point and sold all his shares. So it's like he kind of knew it was going to tank, and you know that always kind of sucks when you start finding that out.
Yeah.
I was interested in the Secret World, but there's too many MMOs out there, and honestly, I played one beta weekend and I wasn't real sold, so I wasn't going to drop the money for it. Castle Crashers clocks in 3 million humans. That's pretty substantial for an Xbox Live PlayStation Network
Yeah.
game. Now, if only they'd release their new game that we've been waiting on for 3 years.
Behemoth?
Yeah.
That's the name of them? Let's see. IGN rates Final Fantasy VI as the best RPG of all time.
I'd agree.
I don't know. I'm trying. So you would agree that Final
I
Fantasy
agree. Final Fantasy VI is probably the best RPG of all time. There are others that come close, but 6 is probably the best. Why? What would you say?
It'd be for me. I mean, I really liked. I'd have to think about that, but Legend of the Dragoon is really up there for me.
Yeah, that was on the list of the top 100, but I don't remember where it was. It was higher up. Like it was like I want to say like above 70.
You know, like because it's easy to put a Final Fantasy game up there, but I'm like, what's something else that really stood out there? You know, and Legend of the Dragoon or Skies of Arcadia.
Skies of Arcadia was on there too. That was pretty high up there actually, or low up there, I guess.
Okay.
I think number 2 was Chrono Trigger.
Okay.
Which I would rate that one pretty far up there, and then went on from there. Skyrim was in the top 10
Okay, that's cool.
because that was like the perfection of the Elder Scrolls type series. So, I'd agree. Final Fantasy VI kind of had it all. It had the good character development. It had the big set pieces.
That's the one with like Kefka, right?
Yeah.
Okay.
So, let's see. Microsoft renewed the Killer Instinct trademark. I've been kind of wanting a Killer Instinct remake for quite a while, but since they bought Rare, they've really kind of
sat on it.
Well, they pushed Rare to make like shovelware Connect titles. So, hopefully something comes out of this, but it could just be them renewing the trademark to protect their IP.
That makes sense.
Yesterday,
The new PS3 models announced a 250 gigabyte and a 500 gigabyte PS3. Wow.
yeah, the 250 gig actually is a bundle, and it comes with Uncharted 3 and like a $30 certificate for the new Dust 514 game. That's pretty substantial, and they weren't bad price. Like I think the lower one was like $269,
That's not bad.
and the higher one is, I think it was like 3 something. But that's pretty good because I mean the 250 gig now is $299.
Yeah. It's just, I mean, we got a PlayStation 4 right around the corner.
Yeah, I'd say probably next year or the year after.
So,
We'll see.
Yeah.
All right. the BioWare co-founders, the doctors, Ray Mazuka and Greg Zuschek, have stepped down from BioWare.
They've retired. They've made enough money.
Yeah, or they're pissed off at EA. There's conflicting stories. Ever since BioWare was bought by EA, there's been a lot of controversy and like key figures leaving. And I think SWTOR might have did it for them. I think since then they were like, no, I think we're done. So, oh well. But in good BioWare news,
Dragon Age 3 Inquisition announced for late 2013.
that could be pretty cool. I enjoyed both Dragon Age games, so hopefully they'll fix the problems in the second one and make it more like the first one. All right.
That's the quick news.
Yeah, we went through it pretty quick. Let's see. All right, so we've got 3 full news stories, and the first one is actually what got me thinking kind of about the genre-changing stuff.
Mm-hmm.
But what it is Microsoft's actually working on what they call an immersive display experience.
Now, isn't that related to that smart glass?
Yes and no. This immersive display experience is it's just a patent, so it's real early. But what it is they actually can project images onto a wall. So, like, say we're playing in this room here, they can put, like, Skyrim around us, theoretically. So you're more immersed into the game. It's also going to work with the Kinect, or supposedly work with the Kinect. The patent was actually filed last March, so they've been working on it pretty secretively. But what also came out is they're also working on some type of like controllable, wearable system, a la the Power Glove, but a little more realistic, or I guess a little more feasible than the Power Glove. Because what it's going to use is it's going to use those things that like you always see in the mall, like the muscle sensors that like work your muscle out.
Okay.
But they're actually going to be the sensors, so like say you move your arm or something like that, it can sense that.
Okay, kind of like the motion capture balls. Or
Right.
Like that.
Exactly. And what they actually patented was like a chest piece, a hat, and gloves. So I guess they were like shorts or something. It's still very early, but that could be pretty cool. Like that could be the next big,
step.
Yeah. The one more step to the headset we showed last week.
Oh gosh, the headset I will never wear.
You'll wear it as soon as they release Battlefield 5 on it.
I don't know. We'll see. We'll see.
So what do you think? I mean, do you think gaming, motion gaming currently is, I think we both agree, is a letdown.
Yeah.
It never reached what they said it would.
Yeah, it definitely is. It got old really quick.
Right. So this could be their way of fixing that, and that could be pretty cool.
Better on Kinect? Sure, I'll just play it with my controller.
Yeah. I like those Better on Kinect commercials because basically it just showcases them yelling at the Kinect.
Mm-hmm.
Like, I think Skyrim, you can yell the
scouts. Yeah, you can. See, I couldn't even do that.
Maybe if I was home alone, it would be fun.
Exactly, yeah, if you're alone. What was the other game?
The new
War. Tom Clancy's End War. You can like call out the things. Like I remember walking in on my brother, and he was like playing End War, and he was like, attack Zulu, attack Bravo, and like he just looked like a dork. He just looked like a dork.
No, the new one of the new NBA games, because there's 2 coming out supposedly. One of them just got delayed. You can actually argue with the ref, like you can like heckle players and stuff.
Wow.
So that's hilarious.
That is funny. If they have something like that for Madden, because I get really pissed off at Madden.
Yeah.
Yeah, so that'd be funny.
B squad refs.
Yeah. Oh, they should implement something like that
in the new Madden.
Into the new Madden. Yeah.
It is. It's called turn penalties off.
Yeah.
It's turn half the penalties off and turn all the penalties on, like the other penalties all the way up.
Mm-hmm.
So like if you sneeze, offsides, holding, infraction.
Sometimes I do that to just change things up a bit. I'll do like little exhibition games, just turn penalties up to like maybe like 80 or 90.
See, I always did the opposite. I'd do like an exhibition game and turn all the penalties off. So there's no greater feeling than standing next to the quarterback right as he snaps the ball and hitting him.
Oh man.
No offsides. No illegal contact.
Oh man, because you get pissed when it's like third and short, third and long, and you make a good pass and it gets called back or something. It's,
Right. Penalties in video games are hard to translate because you have almost no control over it.
hmm You can challenge plays though. There are sometimes when I challenge a play and it'll get overturned. I'm like, it gets pretty intense. You guys are lucky I did not get the new Madden because you hear me cuss in that back room.
All right. Well, the big story of the week is
The
Wii U.
The Wii U, yeah. The Wii U prices have been launched or have been announced, and the launch date is what? The 18th of November, right?
I think so.
It's like 62 days away.
Soon.
So
Soon.
basically, there's two different kits. There's the basic package, which is a 16 gigabyte kit. 16 gig or 8? Yeah, 16.
16.
And there's a deluxe one. It's black. It's a 32 gig internal memory, and it comes with a charging stand and like premium network. All these little goodies. And what are the prices? It's like $349 for the deluxe and $299 for the basic.
So that's not bad.
Pretty reasonably priced. And we got a picture of them, don't we?
I think so. Actually, I got a lot of pictures of Wii.
Yeah,
there it is.
That's basically the Wii, and the controller, the gamepad comes with the console. I remember there was some talk of like whether it's going to be sold separately or not. The gamepad does come with it, so
Right.
that's pretty cool. There goes the deluxe and the basic kit for you.
Yeah.
I was actually very surprised at the pricing for this. I mean, it's pretty modest.
I think the reason they did it, they were able to keep it down, is because they're not selling the controller separately. That might be. They were like, we'll just make it up in the back end. So.
Yeah.
But yeah, I was surprised by the prices too. I expected at least a $399 price.
Yeah,
point for
exactly.
The cheapest.
Yeah. So, I mean, like after seeing this, I'm not that impressed with the Wii U launch lineup.
Yeah.
The only two games that are remotely interesting to me are the Zombie U and the Rayman Legends.
Yeah, the next Rayman.
Yeah, the next Rayman game. That's exclusive for the Wii U. So, I mean, other than that, nothing else really jumps out at me. A lot of people get on me for being a Nintendo basher. I've been let down by Nintendo over for a while. So
Started with the GameCube.
it started with the GameCube and different colored ones, and it got a little out of hand.
Yeah. Pre-orders. They're
The pre-orders are totally sold out. Most places. I think they're still available in Walmart and.
But only the big ones.
Only the big ones?
No, only the cheap ones.
Oh yeah, only the cheap ones. Yeah.
Oddly enough, I think this might be a case more of eBay strikes.
Yeah.
Than anything else.
Yeah.
Like I was actually considering picking one up if I could get a pre-order for it, but not to keep.
Yeah. You would make a pretty good profit.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, easily, because it's going to be the hot thing this year, easily.
Yeah, I mean Nintendo does it every year.
Yep.
They launch a console, so.
Oh well.
Yeah, I'm not gonna be surprised.
Well, with the Wii announcement, they actually announced a lot of features and stuff for the Wii, like launch titles. But more specifically, what you can do with that insanely oversized controller or
PSP.
really small tablet. And the big one was the Nintendo TV. I guess that's how you say it. It's got two eyes on the end of it.
Yeah. Yeah.
You can watch like networks and stuff on there.
You can like set your like a timeline, like it'll remind you when your show's coming on and stuff like that. We got pictures of that too, don't we?
Yeah, I got a couple of them. Let's see.
Yeah, that's pretty.
That's the football one.
Yeah.
Let me show the other one first. There we go. So yeah, you can set like DVR. You can, as you see, IMDb, Wikipedia, everything right from the controller. So that's kind of cool. I don't know if it's a feature I'd buy it for.
Yeah.
Because I can watch TV through my cable box.
Exactly. Yeah.
But I guess it would be good for people that it might save you on the cable bill, because then you can watch everything through Hulu and stuff like that. So that would be pretty cool. You can tweet right from this.
Yeah, you can tweet, do live tweeting during the show, set your DVR, stuff like that.
It's pretty crazy.
Immersive stuff. And you can watch the sports stuff.
Yeah, I did enjoy this screenshot, because this is exactly what I was talking about. I was like, say, they've got college teams on here, but say you're watching the Packers game and you want to see, like, the Seahawks game or whatever. But that's a stupid example because they're playing the Seahawks this week. Say you want to see the Raiders game and you're watching the Packers. It'd be cool if you could pull it up on here, like the highlights of the game.
Yeah.
Which they haven't announced that yet, but as you see, you can do the scores. I imagine because of the picture that you can see, I guess, pictures.
Yeah.
Maybe some highlight reels. Who knows? This could be pretty cool.
Yeah, that's neat because I always pull up baseball scores and like what's going on, like what inning it is, like who's on base and stuff like that for baseball stuff on my phone. Right. And I guess it'd be pretty neat to pull that up.
Yeah, I think that's pretty cool overall.
It is free. This thing is free, right? Yeah, it's free.
Free with the system.
Yeah, free with the system. So it's not like you're not getting charged extra for it.
Yeah, the basic TV channels are free. I think obviously with like Hulu, Netflix, there's going to be a
subscription fee. Yeah,
but that's general among everything.
Mm-hmm.
So, but we'll keep our eye on it.
Yeah.
All right. Well, you want to do discussions or do you want to do previews and reviews first? Leave this one up to you.
We'll do the discussions first.
All right.
Yeah, let's do the discussions. It's next on the agenda.
Yeah. Let's try and spice it up, but okay. So let's see, our first discussion, which I guess would be under discussion A, is video game betas.
Mm-hmm.
This has always been more of a PC thing, but it's slowly coming into the consoles in the form of the demos.
Yeah.
Now, Resident Evil 6, you played the demo.
Mm-hmm.
Before you played the demo, you were pretty excited for Resident Evil 6.
Yeah, I was.
Now, not so much, right?
Yeah, I've decided I could wait to play it. I don't have to get it when it first comes out. Because remember, there's a certain type of Resident Evil that I'm truly fond of. And since Resident Evil 5, the scary type, the scary type, fighting zombies, that sort of thing. I mean, it's cool that zombies are back in the series, but it's not the same. It's not the Resident Evil that I grew up on.
Right.
So, I can wait. Maybe for a deluxe edition, like a re-release with some extra features added in. I could.
Or when
wait.
you see it on sale for $10 cheaper at Target.
Yeah, you see it, if I see it on sale, I can pick it up.
Right.
This is like when I got the Resident Evil 5, I blew right through it. I had a good time. The co-op was awesome, and I felt like something was missing. So.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, but would you say that demo? I don't want to say ruined, but set the expectations a little lower.
Not really, because there's like so many questions I have. I'm still a Resident Evil fan. I still want to know what happens in the story. I want to see how. Remember, Sherry's in the game from Resident Evil 2. She's grown up now. She's like 15 years older. So she's like some type of special agent or something on assignment.
15.
No, she's like 15 plus. She's like 20, mid-20s something now. So she's in her 20s. But Sherry's in there with a gun. I'm like, whatever. I want to know what happened to Claire.
Right.
Leon, he's in there. I want to have some of the story resolved.
Right.
Because, I still am invested in the story. I've been playing this game since 97, 98, so... No, actually 96. So, yeah, I'm still fully invested into it, but I can wait a little while.
Okay.
Because, Capcom, they're going to come out with something else to add on to it.
Super Mega Ultra Resident Evil 6 Edition Gold.
DLC. Yeah, so I want a DLC all in one pack. I'll wait.
Okay.
I will wait.
Yeah. Well, what got me thinking about this is like every game seems to be having a demo or a beta or something like that. Betas more so than demos because betas are generally all access. Like World of Warcraft. I've been playing the new World of Warcraft expansion since March. So, and it's coming out next week. So that
there you go.
I'm just kind of wondering if they're maybe taking it too far. Like they're trying to build hype for these games, but people can come back and say, "Well, you're just trying to hype it now. Like we can see through it." And I think overall it might be hurting the industry just because of the fact that they're relying so much on these betas to, I guess, quality test when people are just in there to play the game. Like, normal players are not good quality testers.
Nah.
Not at all.
Mhm.
I can tell you from experience on like World of Warcraft, and of course I have to go to that because that's the one the beta I played the most. But Smite's the same way, which I'm going to do a preview on. But if you go on the forums, there's like probably a small group of people, I'd say maybe 20, maybe World of Warcraft's maybe a little bigger, that are the only ones really posting, good
yeah.
feedback. Unfortunately, I'm not one of them. I just don't post at all. I'm more of a lurker.
Hey, you learn.
Right. But I think, like Skyrim, they had a beta. It wasn't really open or advertised, but on PC they had a beta, and then there was a lot of problems with Skyrim. Whereas, older games didn't really have that problem. Like they waited. So I don't know. Betas to me, I think, have kind of gotten out of hand. Like any game I really want to play that's coming out, I can find a beta for.
Yeah, like since I do mostly console gaming now, there haven't been many like betas I've been involved with. Like there's the demos obviously, but like the last like big beta that I remember was a Halo 3 beta.
Yep.
If you got Crackdown, you had access to it, and I ended up really enjoying Crackdown. And I remember it was just a multiplayer beta.
Right.
So
they did that with Reach. They're not doing that with Halo 4. But like right now, I played Little Big Planet karting beta.
Mhm.
That was alright. Nothing special. But Dust 514, they have that in beta on PlayStation. So like it's slowly shifting that way, and I don't think it's good.
Mm.
I don't know how else to say it. So.
Very interesting stuff here, but I do like demos. It does help me set whether or not I really want to get this game. Like not Monster, I was about to call it Monster Hunter. Dragon's Dogma.
The demo.
Yeah, that demo really. I was already interested in the game. I did my research on it. Okay, let me play it. I played the demo, and I don't know how many times I replayed that demo.
Yeah.
I mean, it was like I need to get this game. I ended up getting it. So.
All right. Well, that was kind of like a small discussion, more of a rant on my side. But the big discussion of the week is, like I said, most industry-changing game. This is going to be 100% opinion. There are no facts to back this up. It is basically just going to be what you think versus what I think. Hardcore Bill O'Reilly style. So, most industry-changing game.
You first.
Doom. Or Wolfenstein. I'll go with Wolfenstein.
Hmm.
Without that, you wouldn't have Call of Duty, Halo, Borderlands, any of that. You wouldn't have Mirror's Edge.
True.
You wouldn't have anything really first-person related. It's got to be Doom. And I wish they would get back to that. Like, Borderlands is close. Like, Borderlands is I think, as close to that as I can currently get.
I would have to go with Metal Gear Solid, the one that came out in '98.
PlayStation?
For PlayStation. It's just it really set the tone for making games more like movies.
I could agree with that.
So I mean, it did. Metal Gear Solid played out a lot like a movie.
Are you trying to say Crash Bandicoot wasn't cinematic?
Not at all. Not in the slightest. I mean, like even from the cutscenes when like a new character shows up, it shows their name, and it even shows the actor's name in parentheses. It had an opening credit sequence, like while you're playing the cold open to the game, it has like names flashing up.
Yeah.
A Hideo Kojima game instead of a film like a Cisco Davis film. You know what I mean?
You know what other game did that?
Which game?
Final Fantasy VI. The very first opening was they go through like the storyboard and stuff. Obviously, a little more old school.
Yeah.
But then the slow walk in the snow with Wedge and crap. What's the other guy's name?
Biggs.
Yeah, Wedge and Biggs leading Sierra or whatever her name was in the mechs through the snow, and they did like the credit roll. So.
Yeah, I mean like.
But I agree with you on the presentation. Like,
yeah,
thinking back, I think you're right. I think that's one of the first ones.
Yeah,
that
one
ever
of the
did
first
that.
games that really just set the tone, you know, for games being like movies, and then you get to Metal Gear Solid 4, where people say it's just a huge movie,
Right.
you know, and then you have games like Heavy Rain, which it just is a movie,
Right.
you know?
Heavy Rain. Catherine was kind of like that, except for the puzzle levels. The other levels were, basically interactive movies. What else? What else recently? There was one recently where we were like, that really sounds like Heavy Rain. Crap.
Besides Heavy Rain, I can't really think of any like movie type games.
There was one. There was a big one, and we're missing it because we were just talking about it. Because that's the whole reason you bought Heavy Rain. Or rebought Heavy Rain. I forget.
I can't think of it. It's not Walking
Walking-
Dead, is it?
Yeah, I think it is
Okay.
Walking Dead.
Okay.
So yeah, I would actually say that Walking Dead could be up there in a couple of years. As far, obviously not now because we're kind of in the middle
We're
of
still.
it.
Have you heard anything about
No.
when episode 4 is coming out?
It will be on the news. Like that will be
Yeah,
a
it
big
will.
news
Yeah.
story.
See, they kept quiet this time around.
Because neither one of us reviewed episode 3.
True. No,
And we never really talked about it. And I kind of did that on purpose. If you would have wanted to review it, obviously you could have. But I kind of am not talking about it because I want to save that for when they announce 4.
Okay.
Because the more I think about it, the angrier I get. So I try not to think about it.
Yeah.
But yeah, I would say I would agree with you on the cinema presentation of
Mhm.
it. I'm surprised that you picked that. I would have thought you would have picked something older.
Yeah. I mean, I can't think of anything. I was thinking like maybe motion control type stuff. You know, when that was really brought in.
I don't know if that's industry changing yet.
Not enough.
Right. If this Microsoft thing can take off, it might be.
Yeah, that might be pretty big.
The other one I was going to go with, well, we mentioned Heavy Rain, but the other one I was going to go with was GoldenEye. But then we played it, and I was like,
Yeah.
oh my god.
Yeah, we played it before the show. If anybody watches
It'll be on our YouTube channel, and it's on the Twitch channel currently. It has not aged well.
No, it hasn't.
But
It has not.
For console-based shooters, or for console-based multiplayer,
Mhm.
that was probably the game that did it. That led the way for Halo, but like I said, I had to go back to like Doom and Wolfenstein. 'Cause
Mhm.
that's where it all started for
Yeah.
first-person shooters.
Exactly. Yeah.
Platformers are coming back, so you could say Mario,
Mhm.
but even then, that wasn't,
yeah.
Pong. Pong was the genre changer.
That was the deal breaker there.
You know what's funny though?
What?
They really haven't made a good tennis game since Pong.
I would debate the Wii Tennis. That was probably one of my,
okay.
That was one of my favorite.
I enjoyed the very first Mario Tennis, but that's not realistic.
I
enough.
barely remember that one.
I have that. We can play that.
Oh.
We just ran out of time. We played Smash
Next week.
Brothers for so long.
Yeah, we did. That was fun.
Yeah, that was fun. Maybe we can get the other ones in on that one. So, all right. Well, I'm gonna do a preview, and then we both got reviews. So
Mhm.
we should probably get moving. 'Cause
Yeah.
we are already at about 45 minutes.
Oh wow, it's gonna be a long one.
Yeah. Well, it's our 20th episode.
Yeah.
Extravagant. Green and blue
Extravaganza.
light. Whatever.
You know what I was thinking for like a Halloween episode? We have like maybe like orange, maybe some pumpkins at our bottom third right there.
We're doing it in costume.
Oh wow, that's
Yeah.
gonna be even more awesome.
That's our big announcement. That's actually
Oh.
not the big announcement.
Spoiler.
But that is a announcement.
Maybe for the Christmas one, we might have some like snow.
Yeah.
Like
There-
yeah.
You're the graphics guy, so
True,
whatever
yeah.
you want to do,
Yeah.
I'll throw some jingle bells in the music.
Okay. Okay. There we go. All right. Maybe a special intro.
Yeah.
Nice. I'm gonna have to start working on the Halloween intro.
Yeah.
It's gonna be coming up soon.
I guess we got about a month and a half.
Mm-hmm.
So, I'll probably do the show as maybe Spider-Man. Maybe if I can fit into the costume at that point.
Well, we got like a month and a half to to start working out and stuff,
Mhm.
get in shape for it.
I guess I should start lifting weights instead of watching my wife and the other roommate lift weights.
Yeah, we might have to get on that.
All right. Well, my preview is actually going to be on Smite. Like I said, I'm in the beta right now. It's a mobile game, kind of like League of Legends, stuff like that. But the big twist is it's actually third person over the shoulder rather than like the traditional StarCraft isometric view, which you will see in this video if it plays. This is the character select screen. You can play 5-on-5, 3 versus 3. You can play 1-on-1 if you want, but that's really just for practice. Basically, like I said, it is a MOBA. All the general MOBA stuff applies. There are towers, there are lanes, there are creep mobs that you kill for experience, which I wish this would hurry up. But it revolves around the gods. Like you see there's a whole bunch of different gods through all different religions, stories, folklore. You got some weird ones like Cupid is pickable. Thor is in there. Obviously, if Odin's in there, Thor hopefully is in there.
Mm-hmm.
You got some Chinese gods. You got Artemis, which is a Greek god, and they're continually adding more and more gods. But as you see, it's third person, whereas normally you would be, looking down on the map, but you're right behind your character. You still have all the lanes and stuff, like I said before. You have 4 skills that you can level up as you go, or you can automatically level. Let's see. What am I missing? Inventory. I thought he'd probably pull it up by now, but there it is. There's a store, so you can buy all different stuff. Tailor it, build it. It's an RPG, like all the other MOBAs are. I'm actually pretty impressed with it. Like, since it's not a review, I'm not going to get too technical on it, and it is early beta.
Okay. When's the final release?
Because it's going to be free to play. They tend not to say that because they'll just eventually transition in.
Okay.
But it's going to follow the same pricing structure as League of Legends. It's free to play, but obviously if you want to be the best, you got to spend money. If you want all the gods,
play to win.
Yeah.
Pay to win.
Not really.
Okay.
Maybe in higher tiers, but like if you want certain gods, you got to buy them.
Oh, that's
stuff
right.
like that. So.
Is this the one that like cycles out the gods?
League of Legends does.
Okay.
And I'm assuming this one will eventually, because it's in beta. I think they just want to keep all the gods open, so you can test them. And there are some balance issues. Like some gods are clearly better than other ones.
Mm-hmm.
Like this guy, I think, is playing Hades, and Hades right now is ridiculous.
Oh.
So
that's why I chose him.
Probably. But I'm really liking it. Like I'm gonna alienate people, but I really don't like League of Legends. Like it's fun to watch, and the competitions are cool and stuff like that.
Okay, because I was about to ask you if you like this over League of Legends.
Easily. It's more familiar. I think they did a good thing with the third person in that it's
like
more,
World of Warcraft.
Yeah, it's more familiar to like the third person RPG MMO, and I don't think you're. I don't quite know how to put this. In third person, you're more connected to the action. Like, whereas when you're isometric, you're more paying attention to the map in the upper corner. You're thinking about, stuff like that. Whereas on this, you really have to try hard to think about the bigger picture. Because, like, in this situation here, you're like, oh my God, there's 2 champions in front of us. I gotta just, rape their face like that guy did. So, these are all players, so it is 5-on-5.
Okay.
Except for the little guys in there. But anything you see a name tag over, those are players.
Okay.
I'm really excited for this. Like I said, I played League of Legends. I don't really, like I said, I don't really like League of Legends. Part of it could be the community, which this game does suffer a little bit from. And MOBA communities tend to be a little harsh.
Just because it's so competitive.
I guess. But I think it started with like Defense of the Ancients and there was like an elitist attitude there, and that got built up, and so on and so forth. But I actually have beta keys available, kind of like a refer the friend thing. So the way I'm going to do this is, if you want a beta key, you have to send us a question.
A viewer question.
At gamersdigestpodcast@gmail.com. And if I said it too fast, or you don't know how to spell that, it will be on the webpage.
And at the end of the show, there'll be a little...
Yeah, that's
tag.
true. We got a new outro, so it'll be on there. But I'll probably mail them out by next week. Say I'll wait a whole week until after we do the next show, and then we'll go there. So,
Okay, so there you go.
And that's Smite. Well,
Smite.
I thought he was going to do something cool. But
Oh, he didn't?
no, you can go into like the jungle and stuff and kill like NPC mobs and level that way and kind of disappear off the map. But there's a whole tactical side to the MOBAs, which I really enjoyed. It's just I'm not good enough at games like League of Legends to really enjoy that. Whereas Smite's kind of new enough that if you make some bonehead moves, people will be like, "Hey, why'd you do that?"
It'll be they're a little more forgiving.
Right, because everybody's kind of new at that.
Yeah. That's always good.
But I should mention that beta actually has about 650,000 people playing it.
Wow.
So it is becoming popular.
That's good then.
Yeah, that is pretty good. All right, well, let's jump into our reviews. Industry changing reviews.
Reviews.
Yeah.
Well, since I talked about Smite, why don't you go first?
I'll talk about some Heavy Rain. This game is... Wait, let me preface this by saying you're either going to hate this game or you're going to love it. Now, when I first picked it up, it was I knew what I was getting into because I played the demo.
There you go.
And the demo, really, I was like, wow, this thing is like as a cinematic guy, I like cinematic type, things. And this game is totally a movie. And you got some video for us.
I do.
And the graphics are super impressive. It's about a serial killer. It's a little bit. The story's pretty mature. It's about this serial killer who kills children whenever there's like a big storm coming, and basically he drowns them in the heavy rain. And so in this game, a kid is kidnapped, and one of the characters you play as is the father. He's trying to figure out who where his son is. There's a character that's a reporter. That's this chick right here. This footage right here is actually from the first DLC to come out called The Taxidermist. It is one of the most chilling, suspenseful gameplay experiences I've ever had playing Taxidermist. It was that scary. Like she's researching the one of the killers might be, and she like kind of breaks into this guy's house. This is just like a nice little tech demo. And back to the graphics for this game. This game plays a lot like a tech demo, like visual-wise. I mean, it is like a pure like sense of or embodiment of what the PS3 is capable of graphics-wise.
Yep.
The character models are modeled after real-life actors, and I've even seen these actors in real movies, and I mean, they look exactly like their actors. They do the voices and everything, the motion capture. It's amazing. Let me go. The story, prose, the graphics are good. There's no standout glitches in the graphics. No, it's like I said, it's a commercialized tech demo. The story is mature and compelling. Like it plays a lot like. Okay, this game is you can't really lose in this game.
Right.
There's no you don't fail. You just get to the end, and there's just branching. There's so many different branching paths you can take depending on things that go on. Like I said, this killer that takes out these kids, he leaves little origami figures on his victims, and he wants to put the father to these children through trials to like save their son, and like so far nobody's ever been able to like find their kid, but the father's like so determined. And it reminded me, playing this game reminded me a lot of the movie Saw. How how the father is being put through these trials. Like, I mean, there's one scene in the game. This is gonna be a spoiler. I know the game came out a couple of years ago. There's one scene in the game. It's like, okay, if you want to save your son so bad, you need to cut your finger off. So you gotta look through you're looking through the room. You're like a time limit's going out. You can totally not cut your finger off, or you can like, okay, oh, here's a wrench. Here's a knife. Here's a bolt cutter. I mean, you're looking through this room for a way to cut your finger off, and you can play through the game with your finger cut off or not. I mean, it is an intense game. Now, when I went to GameStop to pick this game up for the second time, the cashier, the clerk there, he's like, "All right, you do know what kind of game you're getting into, because it is an adventure game, and not a lot of people are going to like that." And that's this game's biggest strength, but it's also at the same time it's also its weakness.
Right.
Because I mean, this game is totally reliant on its hype, and it's like that is so awesome, or it's not. I mean, it lives or fails based on that. Like this character right here, you play as, he's a detective, and he's an FBI guy that's looking into these origami killings, because it is a serial killer, and it is futuristic how he has these glasses that can like look for clues. And
right.
Like I said, you can't really lose in this game, but things that you do miss out on are like different clues, conversation cues on who the killer might actually be.
Right.
And you also play as a private investigator that's helping a mother from a previous victim find out who the killer is. So I mean, it's deep story. They've also added Move support recently. It's enough adding PlayStation Move support to this game is enough to warrant another playthrough for me. Just because it's so much fun. The controls do get a little wonky when you up the difficulty. There isn't a difficulty that you can add to this, and it just adds a little bit more button presses for like action sequences, like quick time events, and you might get punched a little bit extra, or you get knocked out. Some of your characters can die in this story, but the story still, you can't change the overall arc. But I mean, it will get to an end, and there's certain endings that you can get. But there are characters that can die off, and they don't show up at certain parts of the game because they died, like in a basement somewhere or something like that. I mean, it's an amazing game just for the story. What else? One of my cons for this game, I don't have many cons for this game because I like it so much. But one of the cons is that they discontinued their plans for all the DLC. They had Quantic Dream, the developer for this game. They said that they were going to release, I think 4 or 5 different DLC stories, and they only ended up releasing The Taxidermist. And I was so disappointed when I found out that they decided to cancel the rest of their DLC for this game, because it's that good. Another con, let's see, I already mentioned that it's not a game for everyone. The controls, they discontinued. Really, my only con is with Quantic Dream for taking so long to bring out the next game, because Heavy Rain really set the tone for me liking adventure games. So that's why I'm really just been dealing with Walking Dead and all the Telltale games, really. Right. Because that's all there is right now. I mean, here's like this huge fight scene. Actually, this character you play as, or you're playing as right here, he could die in this scene. This is towards the later end of the game. He could die because this character is actually he's a drug addict, and if you have been doing the drugs or whatever, it can affect the outcome of this fight. So basically, and see how like the little button presses are circling around his head. That's like what you can choose to say. And if you hit a button, you can choose what the character's thinking, and this changes the way. If you press a button hard, they might say it a little stronger. If you want to open a door softly, you press the control for it softly. I mean, Quantic Dream really put a lot into this game. I can definitely see how it takes a while for them to get these games out. I'm looking so forward to their next game. But yeah, overall I give it a 9 out of 10. Heavy Rain is a game changer. Yeah. As far as like
it really is. I mean,
visuals and presentation, I cannot wait for the next game.
I haven't played all of it. I did play it before it got stuck in your PlayStation for a little bit.
Yeah, it's still stuck in there.
Yeah, we'll get it out. But I agree. Like it probably might be the closest thing to the resurgence of adventure games, mainstream as we can get. Walking Dead is getting there.
Oh yeah,
It might already be there.
especially with popularity.
Right.
I think they're Beyond. I think is the name of their next Quantic Dream's next title.
Right.
I think by the time Beyond comes out, it's going to be a big hit.
It could be. Yeah. I mean, I agree 100%. I haven't played it enough to review it, but it does look pretty good, and it played pretty well too. I didn't try it on the move though. We should probably try that. If
You know
we
what?
ever get it.
I might preview Beyond next week.
Okay.
Yeah, since I got so hyped up on it. So yeah, that's what hype does for you.
Yep.
Hey.
All right. Well, my review is going to be on the newly released Borderlands 2. I'm going to preface this with it's going to be on the PC version. I know nothing about the Xbox or PlayStation versions, but I'm going to take a guess, and the Xbox version works fine, and the PlayStation version doesn't.
Hey, that's just how it...
Yeah, I told you
Yeah.
yesterday.
Yeah.
Like the whole reason I bought it on PC was A, I knew it would look better, and B, I'm getting kind of fed up with the PlayStation support model. Games not working right.
Or some games not
Invisible
even...
characters.
Or messed up countdowns.
Right.
For...
That was actually across all.
Oh, it's across all of them? Okay.
Yeah.
That's
I actually tried to incorporate that into the new intro.
Oh, that would
but
have
I
been
couldn't
awesome.
find a good enough sound bite of it.
Dang.
The only one I found where it did it was on one YouTube video, and they were talking loud as crazy over
Oh.
it. So, oh well, Megatron will learn to count eventually.
He will.
But yeah, Borderlands 2, it is amazing. So let's. I actually have 2 videos for it because one of the videos I found. This one was kind of short, but this is the best one that showcases all the characters and stuff like that.
The artwork reminds me of Walking Dead.
Yeah, it's very comic booky. I guess that's a way to describe it. But same as the first one. I don't think the engines really changed too much. They did update some stuff, effects and stuff look better. And that could actually be a big thing of me playing it on PlayStation or me playing it on PC rather than PlayStation, because I turned PhysX up and all that. But it is an amazing game. It is shoot and loot at its finest. There are, as they say in the ad, bazillions of guns. Every gun is a little different. Now, granted, there's still only I think 10 different kinds of guns.
Mm-hmm.
But in those guns, there's 8 or 10 manufacturers, and each manufacturer has different types of stuff. You got to see a little bit of skill tree there, which you'll see a little more later. But every gun fires differently. One manufacturer deals with elemental damage, one manufacturer deals with rapid fire guns, whereas another manufacturer is stronger, stuff like that. So it's pretty cool. There's 4 character classes, as you saw. They each play differently. You got your traditional commando. I play a Zero, which is the assassin. He can do ninja stuff. So it's a lot of fun. It's completely co-op through Steam, which is definitely one of my pros. Because the last PC version was actually through GameSpy, which was awful. Which is another reason I didn't pick it up on PC. But they did make co-op easy. You can just jump into the Steam community, and it'll find you, 2 to 3 other, 1 to 3 other players, I guess, around your level, and you can jump in. You can host a game, leave it open, and people can jump in. So it's a lot of fun. I mean, the more people you have, the harder it gets, but the better stuff drops. So obviously, if you can get 4 people, it's a lot better. As you see, the fights are extremely varied. There's, a lot of these that you're looking at are, I don't know if they're all boss battles, but they're at least, major encounters.
Yeah.
So, let's see. As you see, it looks amazing on PC. With PhysX, you get realistic environments. You get, good flowing water. Rocks will roll down the water realistically. If you shoot somebody, there'll be a blood puddle. That will go down the hill realistically. It is, for a cartoony-looking game, it is a pretty serious, graphics engine behind it. Co-op, like I said, it's fast and easy. You can't play split screen on a PC. Let's see, what else? I got other. Story, I guess, is actually a pretty big pro here. In the first one, the story was kind of loose. We can switch over to the other one because I think this one's almost over.
Okay.
But story in the first one was very loose. It's basically you're a vault hunter. You're looking for the vault. Do random stuff until you find the vault.
Mm-hmm.
That was the story of the first one. The second one, you start out as a vault hunter, but Hyperion is a corporation that's landed on the planet Pandora, and they try to kill you. Like basically, they're taking all the vault hunters and killing them because Hyperion wants it for themselves.
Oh.
So this whole time you have that guy who's the statue you saw there, Handsome Jack. He's taunting you over the like intercom.
Okay.
The whole game, and he is hilarious. But he plays like the perfect villain to a T. Like he is snooty, rich, a jerk, and he will kill you any chance he will get. So
Handsome Jack.
So they will. There you go. You get to see the assassins like move. But I like that they wrapped that up a lot better this time into like the central story. Obviously, you're still looking for the new vault because of course there's always a bigger vault.
Mm-hmm.
But I guess the last pro would be on PC. The first one got a lot of flack for PC because there wasn't a whole lot of options. It was basically just a console port. There weren't like too many graphics options. There wasn't a field of view slider, which I don't know how much you know about it, but console first-person shooters play a lot differently than I guess PC first-person shooters because with the mouse you move a lot quicker.
Mm-hmm.
So the field of view can get kind of nauseous if you're stuck in that like console field of view. So what you can do is you can expand that field of view so it's not quite as bad. And obviously, the added bonus of seeing more stuff.
Mm-hmm.
So that was cool. Basically, what ended up happening is Gearbox, the company that makes Borderlands, wrote a letter with their mascot Claptrap, and it's a pretty hilarious letter, which I'll probably end up linking on our website. Of all the stuff that they added for the second version that people wanted, like one of the big things in the first one was the menus you had to use like the arrows for, which is as a first-person shooter you don't really use because you're using the WASD and stuff like that.
Mm-hmm.
So now you can use the mouse. It's all integrated.
That's cool.
The only downside for the PC version is if you want it to look good and if you want it to play well, you need a pretty high-end computer. Otherwise, if you don't have a good computer, I'd say probably stick to the Xbox version, or if you're stuck, the PlayStation version. So
that's the hierarchy right there. PC, Xbox.
I don't know, like, there's videos out there, and I never really watched them because I was kind of, gonna buy it on PC regardless at that point. But there are videos out there of the differences, so maybe I should watch those. But based on past experiences.
Yeah. I mean, even like with Walking Dead, it's glitchy on the PS3. There might be DLC later on down the line that won't even come out for the PS3 on this.
Yeah,
Skyrim. The way things have been going lately, so.
Yeah, I should mention there is a season pass for DLC for this.
Okay.
They're planning on doing 4 DLC batches, which I might actually pick that up because of the fact that the first game's 4 DLC packs, with the exception of like Mad Moxie's Arena, the other 3 were amazing. Like they were like what you wanted DLC. Like they were 4. I think General Knox was probably about 13 hours worth of content, but the other ones were probably 4 to 6 hours worth of content. So that's pretty impressive. But other than that, the biggest complaint I've heard about it is no competitive multiplayer. And basically people say, go to Call of Duty for that. Jerks. But I am going to drop the perfect score on this one. It's 10 out of 10. For PC, at least.
Okay. That's cool.
Yeah.
That's cool.
I love the first one. I wouldn't give the first one a perfect score even when it was new, just because the story elements were kind of janky. And in the first one, they hadn't really hit their stride yet with storytelling.
Okay.
Not so much like the story behind it, but like characterization, stuff like that. The more broad sense of story. Like, characters weren't funny. Well, they tried to be funny, but
Yeah.
They hadn't hit their stride yet. Whereas on this, Boner Farts was a name of one of the monsters.
There you go. Boner fart.
Boner Farts. So, but that's it for me.
That's it. Perfect score. Have I done a perfect score yet? I don't think so.
Raccoon City.
Perfectly bad score.
Yeah. It's a perfect game we'll never talk about again.
Yeah.
Well, that is our 20th episode.
That is our 20th episode.
Thanks for watching.
Thanks for watching.
You know what's cool about this new outro?
You don't have to say it all.
Right.
Yeah.
And there is a lot of stuff. So we will see you next week. The one thing I didn't put in the outro was we do gaming beforehand, typically around 7:30, maybe 7 some nights. But we do a mix of like old games. Maybe we'll do some console games if we ever get some funding.
Yeah.
But don't hold your breath.
Don't hold your breath yet.
So we'll see you next week.
See ya.
Gamers Digest is a Spider-One and Mr. Factastic production. All characters and games are owned by their respective companies and are used under the Fair Use Law. Check out Gamers Digest at gamersdigest.me, on YouTube under Gamers Digest Podcast, like us on Facebook, and follow us on Twitter at The Gamers Digest. Viewer questions and comments can always be sent to gamersdigestpodcast@gmail.com. See you next week.